Okay, I want to talk about query fanout as an entity optimization strategy for AI search. Essentially, what I'm going to walk through is a process where we look at the fanout queries from AI search prompts, we extract the main entities and their relationships, and then we use that to create a content calendar, with the end goal of that content being to strengthen those entity relationships on our own website. Um, so basically, the first step is to export your fanout queries. There's different methods to do this. The most reliable, but also the most cumbersome, is to go to ChatGPT directly, inspect, go to DevTools, and then look at the network tab. This method has evolved a little bit as ChatGPT has updated their model, so you need to make sure you're using the latest method of how to do this, but it's generally the most reliable. There are Chrome extensions, but sometimes they break, like when ChatGPT updates its model and changes its method for how fanout queries are displayed. Another option is to use like a prompt tracking tool. So Profound or PKI both have fanout sections. One limitation here is that I wanted to look at the prompt level for fanout queries, and it's showing it to me at a topical level. So none of these methods are perfect, but if you were just looking at one prompt or a handful of prompts, I would say just do the legwork and get them directly from ChatGPT. Or if you're looking at like a topical level, then use your prompt tracking tool. Once you have that data, you want to import that into an AI assistant along with a prompt asking it to extract the main entities as well as the relationships between them, and then maybe also hint that this data will be used for content ideation purposes. Here you'll see like what an output of that might look like. A couple of limitations on this is that it may not extract only entities. It may also pull in concepts or um, attributes or other things that aren't necessarily entities. And then the relationships themselves may be based on co-occurrence as opposed to like true relationships, semantic relationships like you'd see in a knowledge graph. So you have to use your best judgment with this output and then find the entity relationships that you think truly matter. From there, you want to build an entity-led content calendar. So you can do this yourself by like coming up with topics based on those entities and relationships, or you can prompt the AI assistant to come up with topics for you. And this is an example of what an output might look like. Now, one limitation here is that the AI assistant may drift in its content ideation away from just focusing on the fanouts to coming up with topics in general, and that kind of defeats the purpose. So you want to kind of go through and cull that list, and find the topics that are just specifically related to entities and the relationships that you found in your fanout queries. So at the end of the day, you'll come up with probably like a shorter list of topics, like I have down here at the bottom. And then the last step is to measure your AI visibility and revisit the fanout queries. So basically, as you begin creating this content informed by the fanout queries, you want to keep an eye on seeing if it's being retrieved more often as sources for AI generated answers. And then this data would kind of be evident in your prompt tracking AI visibility score. Now, there's a lot of variables at play, so this would only be directional evidence, not necessarily correlation, but it's helpful nonetheless. And then also you want to revisit the fanout queries from time to time because they are probabilistic. They do evolve. They evolve when the models evolve. And so you want to pay attention to like which entities and which relationships are present at different points in time. So just to kind of recap the process, you export your query fanouts. You add them to an AI assistant to extract the main entities and their relationships. You build an entity-led content calendar from that, and then you measure the results. And again, the goal here is to strengthen entity associations on the website using owned content based on query fanouts that you think could be relevant to your target audience, thus enhancing your AI visibility overall. So thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Peace.